What's up, guys? It's Kyle again with GTOM Knives and Gear, and today, holy crap, we got a lot of knives here. Got a tag from a friend, kind of a tag. He did a video, Jake from Bearded Gear. We're going to go over what he did. We're going to try to mimic it. I'm going to fail miserably. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay, Jake over at Bearded Gear has become just an awesome friend. Somebody that I have never physically met, but consider to be one of my really good friends. We've been conversing ever since we both started channels. There's a few people in this community that I really call, like, that I could really be like, this guy's going to be like family. He's one of them. There's a couple more. But as great as he is, he did this video, and I was like, how in the world did you do that? Well, we're going to attempt it here. He did basically a video on his top 10 folders. And now usually when you do those kind of lists, I don't really do those kind of lists a whole lot. I need to probably do more. But, you know, my top 10 EDC folders or my hard use folders. Okay, so he didn't do that. He just did his top 10 folders. And it wasn't like he wrote them down or anything like that. But he put all of his knives out on the table. These are most of my knives. And just started kind of weaning them out one by one till he finally got his top 10. Oh, okay, that's just a very, very hard thing to do. But we are going to attempt it. You're not going to go over any, a lot of details or anything of these knives because of time restraints. But this is what we're going to do. Now, I'm a little bit different because, in front of the camera, I'm going to be kind of over here and all that stuff. I'm usually sitting down. This is having to go way up to get all the view of the knives. So, let's get started. Okay, so hopefully you can still hear me. I'm over off to the side. This is the majority of my folding knife collection. So what Jake did, what I'm going to do is just kind of browse through and start eliminating knives that I know probably would not be in my top 10. The first one that jumps out at me that would not be in my top 10 would be the CRKT Provoke. Not that I don't love this knife. It's just not a practical knife. I purchased this because I love the kinematic action and design of this thing. I don't ever carry it. It's just really, really cool, and I do play with it from time to time, but definitely not my top 10. Oh my goodness. Okay, what other knife? I'm gonna go ahead. This is the Ontario Rat number 2. These are excellent budget knives. This is the R2D2 and D2 steel, just a little small for me. So definitely a good knife, but not going to be in my top 10. Oh, let's see. All right. Well, since we're picking on the rats, this is absolutely a wonderful knife, the Rat 1. Definitely my size. The action on the rats are excellent. It does have plastic handles, which I'm not a huge fan of, but the knife itself is a wonderful design, and I use it a lot for work, but definitely not a top 10 knife, but a good one. If you're looking for a budget knife, I absolutely recommend this. Okay. Okay, well, another kind of beater knife. This is the Spyderco Resilience. I don't even know if I've shown this on the channel. It's just a big version of the Spyderco Tenacious. Still an excellent budget knife. If you're looking for your first Spyderco to see how you like it, it's a big boy, 8CR 13 MOV steel, which is not not the best in the world, but definitely a good budget knife. But this one's going to have to go. Oh boy! All right. Now, he also talked about the value in some of these knives being sentimental, and the Tenacious here is definitely one of those knives. This is not the best knife in the world, absolutely not. This is obviously wearing copper scales, just because I could. I put it on there. My first ever Spyderco, and it was a good one. It got me involved. It got me really wanting to check out more of the better blades out there. So I have a lot of love for this knife. It's just definitely not going to be in the top 10, but super cool. Okay, kind of on the same realm here. The Spyderco Manics 2 lightweight. This one was the second Spyderco that I bought because I just wanted to. Oh, and you can tell it's just the action's not the greatest in the world on this guy, but I don't like the FRN. I got this because I was wanting to just kind of upgrade from the Tenacious. The Manics 2 was a great knife. I'm just not a huge fan of these plasticky scales. I am a huge fan of that pocket clip though, but this knife definitely not gonna make it there. What else? All right. As far, I'm telling you what, this thing is an absolute wonderful budget knife. This is the Free Tiger FT903. This was actually a gift. So this was a gift from Big Bore Knife and Gear. He sent me a huge package when I first started getting into YouTube for me to review all these knives that I probably would never be able to get a hold of. He sent me something like this, which is around $25-30, and then up to $1,000 customs, because he is the other gentleman, one of the other gentlemen I was talking about, who I would definitely call brother. This is an excellent budget knife, but just not in the top tier with everything I got on the table that would make it, of course, a top 10. Alrighty. Getting down. Whew. Okay. Oh my goodness. I love them all. What next? All right, this is the Artisan Cutlery Osprey. This is brass, D2 steel. Now, you guys know me. This is definitely my kind of knife. It's a big old heavy blade. This one was a gift from Gary Court EDC, so this one's not going anywhere. I still have to do a full review on this guy, but as far as being in the list of my top 10 folders, it's not going to make that list, but definitely stay tuned for the review of this beautiful little beast. Boom. What else? Man, basically all these knives I do like. All right, next, probably the one that's going to have to go is probably the Manics 2 XL. Now, as you can see, I've also kind of put some different scales, and I actually have a lanyard on this guy. This is an awesome knife, of course. The Manics 2 is just an awesome made knife in general. This one is the big boy. I do use this for outdoor work. It's just not what I would call a top 10 knife. S33 blade, super cool knife, but just not going to make that list for me. And of course, I do have another one because I love the Manics so much. So I have all three Manics. There's the lightweight, the XL, and then the regular version. This one is wearing some carbon fiber scales. I really do love the Manics. It is a great knife, and it probably should stay on the table a little bit longer, but since I was pulling out some of the other Manics, we might as well get this one out of the way because I just don't think it will make the list for the top 10. Who knows? It might come back in here. All right, the Savi Rustic Gent. I absolutely love the look of this knife. Savi is an awesome brand, but the reason that this knife is probably not going to make it because it is a backlock. I do like to fidget with my knives. I've got a lanyard on there because it comes in this slip and it's easier for me to get it in and out of the pocket. So I do carry this guy and I can get it open one hand, no problem. Closing it one hand is not the easiest. You can kind of, do that number and has a half stop, whatever, but just not a knife I would call the top 10 because I'm just not usually a backlock fan. Boom. Oh, man. The Savi Praxis. Definitely on my list for top budget knives. But, it's a perfectly great knife on bearings. Very smooth action. 9CR, 9CR, I think? Blade steel? I can't remember now. But just an excellent budget knife. I love the look of it. Not crazy about the gold, but anyways, very good knife, just not a top 10. This might be a little bit longer than I thought because of, got a lot of knives here. Let's see here. Next. I might start weeding out some of the smaller guys. This one also, another Savi, great knife, love this thing. The Savi Elementum really is just, this thing is so popular, and there's a good reason why, because these things are a great size for most people's hands, Great little slicey blade. This one's wearing copper, so it's a little heavier. Most of them are lighter than this, but definitely not my style for the most part, so it's not going to make the top 10. Wow. All right. Man, I don't really know how to do this in an order. We will go ahead, even though I love the whole Sheepdog family. The Sheepdog Mini is an excellent, and I do carry this quite a bit, really, but it's a 5th pocket knife, and so I keep this in my 5th pocket because I can really only get 3 fingers on this guy, but it's a great secondary knife with a very good action. You know, it's good. I just not in my top 10 because I obviously like the big guys. So we're going to go ahead and get that one out of the way real fast. It's actually really hard for me to do this. I mean, even on this knife right here, $35 CRJB Centros. Sorry, Felspar. I love the Centros. I ended up giving that away in a giveaway, or was it I can't remember if it was the giveaway or the raffle, but the Felspar is also another great knife, especially on the budget end. Just, you know, just not to the standard of some of these other knives. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh man. If you're still here, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Pair 3. A lot of people are going to be like, what? That's such a great, and it is a great knife. I just don't like the smaller ones. The PM2 is absolutely going to make it on this list. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, they're going to stay up there. But the Pair 3 is such a great knife. It's just a little small for me and what I like to carry, but an excellent, excellent knife. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Cold Steel XL Voyager. I do love this knife. It's huge and it's great. It's a little pocket sword, but come on, let's face it. It's definitely not top 10 material. Super cool, though. Okay. Oh, righty. Well, oh my goodness. All right, well, next up is going to be the only Tucson I have in the collection right now. Even though I really love this knife, this is my favorite Tucson knife, the TS16, running on bearings, M390 steel, full titanium. It's a great, great knife, especially for the price, but yep, definitely not top 10 material. Oh. What else? I love them all. Can we do a top 20? Oh, Jake. All right. Probably the next one on the list the next one that I just need to get rid of, I guess. Oh my gosh, this was a lot harder than I thought. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Cold Steel 8015. I really like this knife. I like the fact that it's a overbuilt, badass knife that I can actually fidget with. So I really, really like this thing. But all be considered, you know, for what's on the table, I don't know if this will make it into the top 10. Man, as much as I love this knife, the full review is going to come on this pretty soon. This is the Fair & Forge Stinger. This thing is friggin' awesome, and I cannot wait to do the review on this guy, but I just don't think it's going to make my top 10, so I just saw it there because it's, you know, kind of small, even though it's very comfortable in the hand. I don't think it's going to make it, so we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Man. Jake, why do you do this to me? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Centauri. The Artisan Cutlery Centauri is probably one of the best actions that I have on the table as far as a drop shunting knife. I'm putting this back. Hold on. We're putting that back. I'm going to go ahead and take off, even though this really is my cup of tea, I'm going to go ahead and take off the Benchmade Crooked River. This is the full-size version. I do love this knife. I love every single one of these knives, and so it's really hard for me to get all these off the table, but I have to do it. This knife, I have another Benchmade on the table that I'm pretty sure is going to make it in the top 10, so I've got to get rid of one here. Oh, all right. You know me, and I love the sheepdogs, and I love this big bad boy. This is the Sheepdog Xl. Just a badass knife. I mean, it just, all there is to it. I love the sound, the clunk that it makes whenever it leaves. Oh, I love the size. It's just just huge, and I like huge, so, oh, I love it. But top 10, I don't think so. Boy, I really wish I could put these in categories because dang. Next to go. All right. Next to go is going to be the other Sheepdog. I got to do it, even though this is a very special blade to me because Big Bore Knife and Gear Scott over there is the one who did the anno on this. Did the flame on the pocket clip. I mean, I love the action on the Sheepdog. It really is so drop sheddy and smooth. The pocket clip is just a little bit hard to get out of your pocket, but I love this knife. Just don't think it's going to be top 10 material, unfortunately. Now what? Man. All right, this is also one that Scott over at Big Bore Knife and Gear annoed for me. This makes this knife so freaking special. And I'm a huge fan of Giant Mouse. This is the Giant Mouse Ace Sonoma. This knife in particular is just really, it's really nice. It's really good. I don't carry it that often anymore. I've got a lot of stuff, of course, that I'm trying to review. But I really love this knife. It's just, this is actually a flipper frame lock. Do I like the flipper on this more than other ones? I don't know. But I'm going to move it right now. Right now I'm going to move it. We'll see what happens. Okay. Holy frickin' moly. I absolutely love this knife. This is the Protech Magic Whiskers. One of the reasons that I love it is because of this hidden bolster button that you do to activate the blade. It's just so much fun to hand this to people and then be like, how do you do that? But it is a smaller knife. It's an excellent small knife. Very, very nice cutting blade. Just a perfect little EDC knife with a little bit of a twist that has this, funky little activation. So I love it, but I don't think it'll make it. Wow. Well, I guess that being said, this was the knife that made me fall in love with Strider ergos. This is the Protech Strider SNG. Oh, do I love this knife. Of course, Protech makes the best side opening autos of all time. And then, of course, the collaboration with Strider and these ergonomics makes this a wonderful, wonderful knife. It's just the fact that I have an auto. And then this one right here, the Strider SMF, which will definitely be in the top 10. I think I just have to get rid of that. Oh, my goodness. Next. Okay, I haven't had a whole lot of time with this. This is going to be up for review, but the Steelcraft Todd Beck Bodega is an absolute work of art as a knife. I have really, really enjoyed it. There's some things on it that we'll go over in the full review. I can't believe I'm tossing knives like this Todd Beck Bodega out. But as of right now, I've got to get it out of the way. Oh, holy crap. This is driving me crazy. Okay. Next on the list, this is kind of, okay, so I'm definitely going to get rid of, the PM2 is definitely going to be in the top 10. It's kind of a hard pick between these two because this is K390, which I love, but this is the Bladeworks, This is the Blades We Love decked out for me in green micarta, bronzed out hardware, pocket clip. I absolutely love the PM2, and so this one is probably going to be the one that stays in for the top 10, even though it's just the S30B steel. I cannot not have that knife in there. All right, the Artisan Cutlery, as much as I love this thing, it is the absolute best front flipper that I've ever had with its action, but God, I guess I got to get it out of here, even though this thing is so much fun and so beautiful. I guess I got to get it out of there. Oh my gosh. This is getting tougher and tougher, guys. I am going to go ahead and get the Hinderer Xm18 3.5 inch out, because the Hinderer Xm24 is definitely another, just a duplicate that I have. It's a bigger size that I have to keep. If I'm going to keep one, it's definitely going to be the Xm24. That one's of course, the vintage model, which I dig because of the 01 tool steel, the walnut scales and everything. But because I have that one, I've got to get rid of the XM18. Oh. Man, I wish I could put these into categories. All right, I think I'm going to get rid of the 8010, even though this is about the most comfortable hard use knife really that I have. It's just a backlock, that kind of kills it for me as far as really liking to carry this thing and fidget with. But as far as a hard tool, man, you really can't beat the 8010. But I've got to get it out of here because I just don't think it's gonna make it in the top 10. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh my God, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Jeez, okay, I gotta get rid of 3. Okay, not as bad as I thought. I gotta get rid of 3. Oh my God, I gotta get rid of 3. Okay. Man. Okay. Well, I am going to go ahead and get rid. Jake, if you hear me, I hate you for making me do this. Yeah, he didn't make me do this. I thought it would be fun, and now I've decided it's torture. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Medford 187 drop point 3V steel. I don't want to. And this one I'm putting it over. I'm not even putting it over there. I'm putting it over here as of right now. Okay. Woo, boy. I don't want to get rid of any of them. Let's do, looking at this and what makes me happy. I got to do it, man. I absolutely love this knife, the Quiet Carry Waypoint. It is absolutely a 100% well-built knife with excellent steel and construction. I just can't put it in my top. I can't put it in my top 10, even though I love this knife and the materials and what this knife is used for. I just can't do it. Okay. Oh. So what do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Son of a bitch. All right. I gotta get rid of one. Oh, man. Son. All right. Yo. Golly.
2 hours later.
All right. the Spyderco Tough. This really is one of my favorite freaking knives. I can't believe I'm taking this out. I guess I'm subconsciously trying to make a good array of folders, but holy crap, you know, this is the first time I held a knife with these kind of ergos, and it just made me so freaking happy. The lock bar is just a little tight on this deadgum guy. But it's a beautiful blade, M3 or 3V steel. Okay, I'm moving it. Okay, so what do we got here? And is there anything that I want to replace? We have the Pm2, we have the Spartan Blades Payless, the Benchmade Super Freak, the Spyderco Shaman, the Koenig Arius XM24, Spartan Harsey Folder, the TRM Atom, the Chavez 229, and the Strider SMF. Whoo! I think I'm leaving that alone. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put them in order. I guess I want to try to do 1 through 10. So it's going to be easier for me to go backwards this time instead of going from least to first. I'm going to go in order of favorites. I know that I haven't done the full review on this guy, but I did a full review of Jake's knife that wasn't the sprint run. That was the full, this is left-handed too, by the way, the flipper version, and this is the flipper delete. And so I'm trying to do this left-handed because it is that easy. The only few knives can I do left-handed. This is definitely on number 1. Number 2, I have to go with the Spartan Harsey Folder. This knife has just really turned out to be one of my absolute all-time favorites. It's probably a tie, really, between the Spartan Harsey and the Koenig Arius. But I'm going to put it in the number 2 spot as of right now. Let's see, number 3 spot. I have to do it. The Strider SMF. I am just a huge fan of these knives. The fact of how overbuilt they are. Of course, I'm failing at every turn. I'm trying to do this in a weird angle of the camera, trying to stand up. I love this knife. I absolutely have no regrets buying this knife. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece made by a wonderful maker, and it just fits my hand. It's the big overbuilt thing that I like. So the Strider SMF. Next would probably be the Hinderer Xm24. I just can't beat the overbuilt, wonderful ergonomics of the Xm24. It's my size. It's wonderful action running on the bearings. Tri-way pivot system. It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece and a workhorse of a knife. That'll be number 4. Number 5. I'm going to give it to, you also haven't seen the review on this yet, I'm going to give it to the Chavez right now just because I am falling in love with this knife, not just because of its bulky, just you feel it in the hand. It's also because of this just sound that it makes whenever it's opening and closing. It's got the action. It's got about everything that I love. The blade is ground like one of the best that I've ever had as far as the grind on the blade. So we're going to put the Chavez in the number 5 spot. Number 6, because I still like the size and the absolute fidget factor of the button lock, the Spartan Payless. It's just I can't get over how awesome, how much I love this. Now, I can do without the flipper because the flipper is lazy, but it gets better over time. Like, I really don't have a problem with it. It's just whenever I open this knife, it's going to be the thumb stud or the reverse finger flick. It's so fidgety. It is my size. It's S35VN, and this ergonomics with this right here, I can't not put it in the pocket sometimes. I really can't. So we'll do the Payless. Next, we will do, it's got to be the Spyderco Shaman. One of my all-time favorite knives. This one's still, I've got to put the other scales back on it that are Strider-esque, that my buddy made for me. But the Spyderco Shaman is still just one of my all-time favorites. Very comfortable, hard-use knife that cuts well. Fidgety because it has such a great action with the thumb hole and the compression lock. Yeah, the next one is definitely going to be the Shaman. After that, it is going to be the Pm2. Still one of my also all-time favorite knives, especially in this Blades We Love version with the push button. Oh, if you haven't checked these out, you need to go. It's the Pm2 Ultra is what they call it. I absolutely love this thing, and I love the PM2. This just makes it better. So that will go next. After that, it's got to be the Benchmade Super Freak, because it's just still a very beefy knife. M4 steel, so comfortable. The action is great. Absolutely my favorite Benchmade of all time as of right now. And then, of course, after that is the knife, probably the only knife on the table that really is great for most people's EDC carry. It's very lightweight, slicey blade, 20 CV, made by a wonderful American company. Yeah, that's it. That's my list. Guys, if you're still here, listening to me rant and do this in agony, I really appreciate it. Consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. Some of these knives have not gotten reviews yet, so they definitely will be getting reviews, so stay tuned for that. I'm coming up on 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe that's even possible. But I do have a giveaway going on right now, so if you're seeing this here in the next day or two, go enter to win some cool gear there. And then, of course, once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Ooh. Anyways, guys, I love you all. Jake, thanks for putting this out there. You made me do it, and I hated every second of it. But I love you, buddy. Stay safe out there in the crazy world we're living in, and we will see you in the next one.